We're back. Happy Monday. It's a start of a new week here in north central Washington. The start of a new week everywhere, come to think of it. It's not real newsy, is it? Good to see you. It is the 26th day of October, 2020. I am Dan Kuntz, and we're back at it again on a chilly Monday. We have already tied the record low for this date. We got down to 27 degrees about 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning. We've ticked up to a balmy 28. But it was a chilly weekend, and we set a record on Sunday, a new record low of 26 degrees, which broke the old record of 27 degrees, which was set back in 2002. Yeah, it's a little chilly out, but temperatures are going to moderate this week. We're going to warm back up. In fact, by the end of the week, we're going to be above normal for our afternoon highs as that roller coaster continues. So forecast details are coming up. We got some news to get to as well on this Monday. Lots of sports. Oh, Seahawks. They had a 13-point lead. They blew it. They got another 13-point lead. They blew that. We'll talk about the tough overtime loss to the Cardinals. Pretty good World Series game last night. An unbelievably epic World Series game on Saturday night. We'll talk about baseball's 116th Fall Classic. Plus, we have the obscure holiday today in history. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. Got some celebrity birthdays, as we always do. And in the back half of the hour, this is a conversation I hope you tune into. It's important. His name is Cortlin Martin. He was a 10-year veteran of the United States Navy. He has returned to civilian life. We got to meet Cortlin back in March when he organized funeral services for a local veteran who passed away, had no family or friends to take care of the necessary arrangements. Cortlin and his group came through, and that inspired him to start a new foundation called the Tour of Duty Foundation. And we'll talk to Cortlin in the back half of the program. It's cold. It's 28 degrees. 3M is back in the chair after a well-deserved week off, so the family's back together again. Let's see what we got outside of our weather window from atop the beautiful Wenatchee Heights, the cross camera. We're a ways from sunrise now. 7:36 is when the sun will start getting the job done. This is the time of the year for about the next 10 days or so. The sun actually comes up during the live portion of this program, which is kind of cool. Sunset tonight, 5:52. That's 10 hours and 16 minutes of daylight. It is chilly. It was cold over the weekend, but again, temperatures are going to warm back up. Thank you very much. Maybe I can get in one more round of golf before we call it a day. Camera 2, I don't know. It's Megan's choice. Let's see what she wants to go visit. She says, let's go see, I want to say that's Blag Mountain. I missed that one right off the top. That's Cole's Corner. Okay, good. Well, you fooled me, Megan. That's not that hard to do. I'm not very bright. She's pretty good at it. Good morning to Cole's Corner. I see some wispy high clouds. I see the beautiful Lake Wenatchee area, which got some snow over the weekend. Passes, of course, got some snow. Spokane got 6 inches of snow on Friday. We just had that little light snow, but a friendly reminder, winter is coming. Good morning, Cole's Corner, camera 3. We say hello to the Smallstown. Hey. Small's home tower. It's out there. There, that's the Columbia River. You can see the snow in the upper elevations of the Wenatchee Valley. You're going to have to cut us some slack. Megan and I are not on the same page because she was gone for a week. I never get that one right. Camera number 4. It must be Monday. Hello, Kashmir from Apple Annie's. Hey, there you go. Zoomed in a little bit, I might add. That's a kind of a cool view there. I like that. Good morning to our friends in the beautiful Kashmir area. All of these high-definition video images, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless setup. And by the way, I think the Sky-Fi department is hiring, the last I checked. So if you want to have a little adventure in your professional life, you like to climb towers and do things like that, you might give Localtel a call or go to their website and check it out. So it's a pretty cool job to be a Sky-Fi technician. I wouldn't know. All right, good stuff. As we take our tour around the valley here on this Monday morning, 28 degrees from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, who gives your home a hug. Here we go. We're going to get up to 46 today, which is a lot warmer than it was over the weekend. We got to 39 on Saturday and 38 on Sunday. We're going to back up to 46 degrees. And that 24-degree overnight low, again, could be a record low. Now, we've already tied the record low for today, as I mentioned before, and we set a new record low on Sunday. Didn't quite do it on Friday for the simple fact that we had a few more clouds that kind of kept a blanket over the valley. But sunshine, we'll take that. 24 for the overnight low. We do it again on Tuesday. Lots of sunshine, high of 48 degrees again. A couple of passing clouds Wednesday. We'll get up near 50 degrees. And we'll also have to start talking about some patchy morning fog early in the morning on Wednesday and on Thursday and on Friday. Once the fog burns off, we're looking good. Thursday, 57 near 60. Friday, again, not quite done with the golf season yet. And we'll be just about the 60-degree mark or close to it on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So this cold snap is about ready to come to an end. And by the way, there is no snow in the Cascades, at least for the forecast anyway, for the Cascades. Could get a couple of light doses of snow today. That's really it. We have no precipitation at all in the forecast for the Wenatchee Valley through the forecast period. The mountains should be okay as well. And this is, of course, the last week in October. Saturday is Halloween, and on Sunday we welcome November. That reminds me, daylight saving time ends on Sunday. We go back to standard time on Sunday, November 1st, so get ready to go back 1 hour. We get the hour back that we lost back in March. The whole thing, it just makes no sense to me. 7 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break. When we come back, we got your Monday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
Hi, my name is Blaine Johnson. I'm at Global Elite Motors. We're tied in with Global Car Care down here locally. So we're not your typical car buying experience. Somebody can come down here, take a look at what we have, and if we have the right vehicle for you, we'd be glad to help you out with it. A lot of times we are able to go out and find specific vehicles for somebody so that it fits their needs, their budget, and all the things that you want without you being obligated right away. If you're looking for a good, reliable car, come see me, Blaine Johnson, down at Global Elite Motors.
Overcast conditions, 28 rather chilly degrees outside. We'll be in the mid-40s today with some sunshine. Upper 40s on Tuesday, into the 50s we go by Wednesday, and we're going to be pushing the 60-degree mark by the end of the week and into the weekend. And here are your headlines. A 76-year-old man was killed in an early morning house fire. This happened Friday in East Wenatchee. The fire was reported at about 5 a.m. in the 2500 block of Sunset Highway, just outside the East Wenatchee city limits. Excuse me. Douglas County Fire District Number 2 and Chelan County Fire District Number 1 responded to the blaze. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office said the victim, James McCoy, was the only person in the home. The portion of the highway was closed for about 3 hours while firefighters worked on the blaze. Kay McKellar is the spokeswoman for the fire districts, and she said the fire burned a home and a two-car garage. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office is investigating. The cause of McCoy's death has not been revealed. Washington State on Thursday surpassed 100,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 since the first case was confirmed back in February. The State Department of Health called it a, quote, sad and sobering milestone, end quote. As of Thursday, the state was at 100,525 cases out of almost 2.3 million people who have been tested. 8,183 people have been hospitalized by the virus. 2,289 people have died from COVID-19 in Washington State. The latest thermographic from the Chelan Douglas Health District shows a slight uptick in COVID-19 cases over the last couple of weeks. In the graphic released on Thursday, the two counties were at 169.3 cases per 100,000 population in the past 14 days. On Friday, the Chelan County Health District's latest numbers slipped back to 162.5 cases per 100,000. A week earlier, the graph was at 163.3 cases per 100,000 population. In Friday's report, Chelan County had a rate of 186.5 new cases per 100,000. Douglas County had 119.7 per 100,000. The numbers had been showing gradual improvement in recent weeks until last week's spike. The first thermographic back on July 30th had the two counties at 573 cases per 100,000 population over the previous 2 weeks. Area realtors are offering grant funds to help victims of this year's wildfires with housing costs. The grants from the North Central Washington Association of Realtors are for people affected by the Pearl Hill Fire in Douglas County, the Apple Acres Fire in Chelan County, and the Cold Springs Fire in Okanogan County. Qualified applicants can receive help with either monthly mortgages or rental costs. The assistance is limited to no more than $1,000 per household. The deadline for applications, January 8th. Application information is available on the NCWAR website at ncwar.realtor.com, or you can call 509-663-1211. As this season's first winter storm hit much of the region over the weekend, state officials have two pieces of advice for motorists. First, studded tires are not legal until this Sunday, November 1st. It would take a major snow event to move that date up, and we're not going to have a major snow event this week. And second, if you're heading out over the pass, practice putting on your car's chains ahead of time. Regional Washington State Patrol Information Officer Trooper John Bryant said practicing will make things a lot easier when you got to put the chains on, and it could potentially save you a $503 fine.
Hello everybody, Trooper Bryant here. It's Thursday, a nice sunny day. I'm in a driveway. What's going to happen tomorrow? Possibly snow throughout the region, especially along the passes. If you're going to travel and don't have a four-wheel, all-wheel drive vehicle with good snow tires, what should you have with you? Chains. Put a couple examples down here for you. There's the cable type and the chain type. They're easy to put on if you do what? Practice. By practicing in your driveway when it's nice and dry, you'll be ready when you're on that pass and chains are required and it's snowing or icy and cold. Now your hands are going to get dirty. That's just a fact of life when you put on chains, but you'll know how to do it, and you'll know how to do it safely and quicker than you normally would because you practiced and followed the instructions. Also remember, you got to reduce your speed limit when you have those chains on. So let's get some practice out while it's nice. Make it a family thing. Have some games so you can do it the best. So good luck this winter, folks.
Thank you, Trooper Bryant. It is 13 minutes after the hour. Those are your headlines here. On this Monday morning, Grant and Eric and the whole crew will be gathering and disseminating the news. And at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, you can keep yourself in the loop by watching the NCW Life Evening News with the anchor, Grant Olson. And here is the man himself with a preview.
Good Monday morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, the snow and rain are gone, but the unseasonably cold weather is not. I'll let you know when we can expect warmer temperatures in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And Eric Grandstrom will have a wrap of the weekend's World Series action and last night's Seahawks-Cardinals game in sports. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope you'll join us then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. I'll be watching the news tonight because there isn't a World Series game. Get a hold of us if you have a news tip or you want to drop us a line and say hi. You can go to our Facebook page, drop us a note via Facebook Messenger. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. That's our email address, news@ncwlife.com. Or if you go to our website, ncwlife.com, first of all, you want to bookmark it because we are constantly populating it with the latest news. And at the top of our homepage, there's a Contact Us icon. Click on it, and the form pops right up. Going to take a break. When we come back, sports. Oh, Seahawks. Well, they won't finish the season undefeated, but that was a pipe dream. Anyway, we'll talk about the World Series as well. Plus, we'll have some celebrity birthdays. Today in history, everyone is entitled to Mike Minardi's opinion, the obscure holiday, and my conversation with Cortlin Martin of the Tour of Duty Foundation. All coming up between now and the top of the hour. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Pybus Public Market's motto is where community meets. Whether it's people, enjoying an event, or they meet a colleague for coffee and whip out their laptop and are able to actually do work here. Having quick and reliable Wi-Fi is one of the things that makes Pybus such a great community hub. It just contributes to the welcoming place that we want Pybus to be. I'm Allie, and fiber keeps people connected, and that's what Pybus Market is all about.
How do you know when it's time to go to Boswell's Furniture? When you know the look you love, the colors you want, but need a little design help to bring it all together. With Boswell's complimentary design service, Glenn, Buffy, and Teresa guide you until your vision becomes reality. More styles, more fabrics, and more choices of quality home furnishings fill Boswell's expansive 2-story showroom, so you can see it and feel it before you buy. Come into Boswell's and explore the endless possibilities of home furnishings. Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
We're back at 16 minutes after the hour. Let's do sports. Seahawks squandered a golden opportunity last night in the desert. They lost to Arizona in overtime. 37-34 was the final. Seahawks gave up 13-point leads twice in last night's game. The Cardinals came back to tie it on Zane Gonzalez's 44-year-old field goal. That sent it into overtime. And then the Cardinals won it on Gonzalez's 48-yard field goal in the extra session. Coach Pete Carroll said it was a game of missed opportunities for the Seahawks.
We had all kinds of chances to win the football game, and we could have won it on offense a couple times and on defense a couple times, and in overtime as well. And we weren't able to get the finish that we needed. We've been finding that way on one side of the ball or the other to make the play, make the sequence happen, and we had our shots. We take such pride in finishing well and doing things right down the stretch and executing and making the other team have to out-execute us. I didn't feel like that tonight. It didn't feel like we were able to force that issue in our favor. It's hard to win them all, and we're going to keep trying. And it's tough to lose a division game, but they played their tails off tonight, and you can see why they're a good team and they're hard to deal with.
Russell Wilson was intercepted 3 times in the game, including the Seahawks' last possession in overtime. Seahawks appeared to have the game won on a 48-yard pass play to DK Metcalf, but that was called back because of a holding penalty on the very next play. Russell Wilson threw that interception that led to Arizona's game-winning drive. Russell Wilson said after the game, the Seahawks will have to do better next time.
So, nothing really changes except for the fact that we just have to tighten up some things. I have to be better, which I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to playing the next game. I wish we could play tomorrow, and that's just our mentality, and we'll be back stronger. We'll be better, and I thought we laid it all on the line. I mean, just every play was competitive. I even thought the last play to DK, where he went down the sideline for the touchdown. I thought that was game over, honestly. But they called holding, and that was their call. So I think throughout the whole game, just the effort of guys, how we played, how we competed, how we battled, is just testament to who we are. And it's never over. We usually win games like this. That's the reality. We usually win these close matchups. We've done it for years. And so our confidence in our vision and who we're going to be and who we are doesn't change.
The two teams combined for over 1,000 yards of total offense. Wilson throwing for 388 yards. He rushed for another 84. His favorite target on the night last night, Tyler Lockett, who caught 15 passes for 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
I think Arizona did a great job just being able to adjust and try to switch up some things. Maybe they understood what we were doing and how we were trying to attack them. Who knows? Maybe we just didn't convert on the third downs like we usually did in the first half. I just think they did a great job just towards the end of the game just to be able to capitalize off of our mistakes, and they just ended up finishing. I think we put ourselves in the best position to be able to finish even after they missed the field goal. There's just things that we got to constantly work on, being able to maintain a lead and not give it up whenever we have those times where we're up by 10 or up by 14. But like I said, I think it's just a learning experience overall, but I think Arizona really did a great job.
Kyler Murray looked pretty good for Arizona. He had 3 touchdown passes, rushed for another. 519 yards of offense for the Cardinals. Seahawk linebacker Bobby Wagner says the defense needs to be more consistent.
I don't know if I could put, a finger on it. I feel like the biggest thing. We have to be consistent. You know, there's times we make big plays, there's times that we don't. You know, there's times where, you know, Russ throws an interception and DK makes an amazing play to, you know, put us in a position. We go down and they don't get any points off of that drive, which is big. We can do something like that, and then we can, you know, hold them to a field goal and have a penalty that changes the game. And so we just have to be locked in, we have to be focused, and we have to be more consistent.
Seattle dropped to 5-1 on the season with the loss. They will host San Francisco on Sunday at 1:25 at CenturyLink Field. Checking out the Les Schwab scoreboard for the rest of the NFC West. Speaking of San Francisco, Jeff Wilson Jr. rushing for 112 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Niners beat New England and beat them handily 33-6. Bill Belichick's worst home loss in his career as the coach of the Patriots. 3 passes after becoming the 48th player in NFL history to pass for 30,000 yards. Cam Newton threw his 3rd interception of the game. He was benched. The Rams, by the way, will take on the Bears tonight on Monday Night Football at 5:15 on ESPN. The Dodgers are 1 game away from winning their first World Series in 32 years. They took Game 5 Sunday, 4-2 over Tampa Bay. LA scored 2 runs in the first inning with 2 outs on RBI base hits by Corey Seager and Cody Bellinger. They made it 3-0 in the second on a solo home run by Jock Peterson. The Rays closed the gap in the third, an RBI triple by Yandy Diaz and an RBI base hit by Randy Arozarena. It was all Clayton Kershaw after that. And the Dodgers, as Max Muncy had an insurance home run in the 5th inning. Kershaw earned his 2nd win of the series. He went 5 2/3. He allowed 2 runs, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. He said it felt good to help the Dodgers get the victory.
Yeah, this year has been just, you know, special, weird, special, different in a lot of ways. So, you know, I think to get to be here and, you know, last minute we were able to get a few extra nosebleed seats, my wife said. So we got to bring, you know, an extra 10 or so people here. So I don't know the exact number of how many people are here, but I mean, that wouldn't happen any other time because travel's so hard right now with what's going on in the country. So thankful that family and friends are getting to come to World Series games that I get to be a part of. And, you know, I don't want to say it's working out the way that I wanted it to, just because being at Dodger Stadium would be awesome too. But to get to have family and friends here, to get to have, you know, as packed house as it can be, and basically seem like it's all Dodger fans is very special as well.
Kershaw surpassed Justin Verlander in the all-time strikeout list for postseason pitchers. His bullpen of May, Gonzalez, and Tainen held Tampa Bay scoreless the rest of the way to preserve the victory. The manager of the Dodgers, Dave Roberts, was particularly pleased with how his bullpen came through.
Going into this one 2-2 to get a win was huge. Any way we could get it. And started with Clayton and Austin tonight. They both did a great job. Getting a lead early, the Corey base hit to start us off was huge. Tack on some runs. And, you know, the guys in the bullpen, it was just fun to watch tonight. Watching Dustin, Victor, and Blake, it just really came up big tonight.
No baseball today. It's an off day. They'll go at it again. Game 6 will be tomorrow night at 5:08. Blake Snell will take the ball for Tampa Bay. He'll go against the Dodgers' Tony Gonsolin. You can watch all the action on Fox. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday. I had 4. Count them 4 obscure holidays to choose from. Today is National Mincemeat Day. Today is National Mule Day. Today is National Crime Fighter Day, Financial Crime Fighter Day. And today is National Pumpkin Day. Well, this is a no-brainer. Pumpkins. It's that time of the year again. Pumpkins originated right here in North America. Scientists think about 9,000 years ago because they found seeds in Mexico that dated back to 7,000 years ago. It is a squash, of course. It comes from the Greek word, the name pumpkin, pumpum, which means large melon. Then it was a French word, then an English word, and then finally the American English word that we call pumpkin. Of course, pumpkins were terribly important to the Native American tribes in this country's early history because pumpkins were a food staple. They lasted forever on the shelf, and they would eat pumpkins and grow pumpkins, lots of pumpkins and other squashes to get them through the long winter. Christopher Columbus himself, it is thought, brought pumpkin seeds back to Europe after he visited the continent. Now, of course, we associate pumpkins with Halloweens because this is when we pick pumpkins, and pumpkins are orange and jack-o'-lanterns and what have you. The largest pumpkin ever grown weighed 1,140 pounds. Half a ton of pumpkin. That's a lot of pumpkin. Lots of vitamin A and lots of potassium in your average pumpkin, so it's good for you until you make pumpkin pie, and it's not so good for you. And pumpkins are 90% water. Happy National Pumpkin Day today. Today in history, wow, fascinating, a lot of fascinating things happened on this date. That is the Erie Canal. And on October 26th, 1825, 195 years ago today, trade and transportation in this country changed forever when the Erie Canal opened with the very first ship that went from Buffalo to New York City. It allowed direct passage, of course, to the Atlantic Ocean, to the Great Lakes, and back and forth. And with just a few years, the Erie Canal would be a rousing success, and it would make New York City, being the most important port in North America. New York would rapidly become the most important city in this country because the Erie Canal. You could take your goods and services all the way across the Atlantic Ocean through the port of New York City and all the way to Chicago if one so desired. It opened 195 years ago today. 115 years ago today, a lot of people forget, it was only 115 years ago that Sweden and Norway were one country. Yeah, it was called Swarway. No, it wasn't. I made that up. But they got divorced on this date. It was finalized 115 years ago today, October 26th, 1905. The divorce between Norway and Sweden was finalized when King Oscar II of Sweden said, okay, we're divorced. Norway and Sweden went their own way, but they're still so intertwined with one another. But anyway, they got divorced, Norway and Sweden. We don't know how they divvied up the furniture. Figure that one out later. That happened 115 years ago today. That's the combined flag of the two countries. October 26, 1960, expansion finally comes to Major League Baseball. After 57 years of having just 16 teams, 8 in the National League, 8 in the American League, expansion finally comes to Major League Baseball with the announcement that the Washington Senators would be moving to the Twin Cities to become the Minnesota Twins. And there would be 2 new American League teams, a brand new Washington Senators to replace the old Senators, and the Los Angeles Angels. And both of those teams will begin play. And the American League went from 8 teams to 10 teams in 1961, and the National League finally got on board. That's a long time between expansion, 57 years, but it finally came to baseball 60 years ago today. 55 years ago today, at a ceremony at Buckingham Palace in London, the Beatles get their MBEs, Member of the British Empire, in their investor ceremony at Buckingham Palace. There are the Beatles, and if they look slightly stoned, it's because, according to legend, the Beatles were in fact slightly stoned. John Lennon later said in an interview they were so nervous about meeting the Queen, even though they had met the Queen before, and getting their MBEs that they snuck into a small restroom at Buckingham Palace and smoked a joint. George Harrison said it wasn't true, but John kind of stuck to his guns. Did they smoke marijuana in one of the Buckingham Palace? That would be a rather large faux pas, but there they are with their MBEs 55 years ago today. 3 remarkable World Series games were held on this date. I remember exactly where I was and who I was with on October 26, 1985. Game 6 of the 1985 World Series between the Cardinals and the Royals. The Royals win because of this controversial 9th inning call by first base umpire Don Denkinger. Take a look.
Little squibber to the right side. Worrell races over to cover. The throw doesn't get him. Worrell got to the bag, and an argument here, and here comes Herzog amongst the other quartet. First base umpire is Denkinger, American League.
Well, this is spring training all over again. Any ball to the right side, you get there as quick as you can. I think he tries to go for the ball. His argument is he gets the side of the bag. Looks like he's out.
From that angle, let's take a look from this one.
Again, Clark with the toss.
Oh, yes.
Right on top of the bag.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Couple of notes on that very controversial call. Of course, they ruled George Ortis safe. The Royals ended up scoring 2 runs the bottom of the ninth inning to win the game, 2-1, force a Game 7, which they also won. Of course, now we have instant replay. In Major League Baseball, that call would have certainly been overturned. I am personally against instant replay in all sports. I don't like it. I think anytime you take the human element away from any sport and turn it over to technology, you're eating away at the very soul of the sport. But it's also just amazing in baseball, and baseball is alone among all the sports, that the coach, or in this case the manager, can actually go out onto the field, call timeout, run out in the field, and yell at the official. Only in baseball can you do that. Don Denkiger would receive numerous death threats for the rest of his career from St. Louis Cardinal fans who took that just a little too seriously. 24 years ago today, after an 18-year drought, the New York Yankees clinched their 23rd World Championship with a 3-2 victory over the Atlanta Braves. The final out from Yankee Stadium.
Another chance to the left side. Hayes waits. The Yankees are champions of baseball.
Watched that game. It was a Saturday night. I watched that game at our family's cabin on the shores of Lake Wenatchee with my good friends Brandon Hobson and Big Al Blackman. And when the final out finally came, they poured champagne and beer over my head as I celebrated with unbridled joy. It was one of the landmark days for me because I'm a Yankee fan, and we went 18 years between World Championships. It was just a great day for me. There you go. And finally, one of the most amazing World Series games ever played was played 2 years ago today. The final was Los Angeles 2, the Red Sox, Los Angeles 3, the Red Sox 2. This was Game 3 of the World Series of 2018. Here's how it ended.
Game 4 start, but it ends up being almost a Game 3 start. Muncy flies one in the air to left center. Back at the wall, and it's gone! It's over! Muncy, a walk-off home run to win Game 3 in the 18th. Night.
7 hours and 20 minutes of baseball. 7 hours and 20 minutes. The longest postseason game ever ends on a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 18th by Max Muncy. I love the World Series. Birthdays. Boy, back in the day, Jacqueline Smith was it, wasn't she? One of Charlie's Angels. She was Kelly Garrett in Charlie's Angels, the only one of the Charlie's Angels cast that was in every episode. She's 75 years old today. Back in 1979, McCall's magazine ran a poll called Whose Face Would Most Women Like to Have? And Jacqueline Smith topped that list. Jacqueline Smith, 75 years old today. Hillary Rodham Clinton, the 67th United States Secretary of State, 44th First Lady of the United States, 73 years old today. Keith Urban, born in New Zealand, raised in Australia, and became an American country superstar. Now that's a cool story. Keith Urban has 18 number one hits on the Billboard country charts. Keith Urban, life is good for him. He's 53 years old today, and whenever the Ivory Coast national soccer team plays a game, I'm always watching because I'm a huge fan of the Ivory Coast national team. Of course, they wouldn't be so successful without Abu Dhabi Bamba of the Ivory Coast soccer team. National soccer team is 33 years old today. I'm sure he'll be getting my card shortly. 35 minutes after the hour, Mike Magnotti's got an opinion. He's always got an opinion. And then last week, Cortlin Martin had a chance to come by and visit me, the inspiring story of his organization that he's just beginning to launch, and he needs your help. It's called the Tour of Duty Foundation. Cortland's going to tell you everything that you need to know. Don't miss this interview. It's coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 7th year in a row.
Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tabor.
I'm Mike. And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue.
Currently, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is open for dine-in and take-out. Owner Justin Hefner and his staff are just as excited as you to get back to their regularly scheduled full menu, music, and poker, so stay tuned. Meanwhile, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is serving a limited menu for lunch and dinner, dine-in or take-out.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I do's to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Hey, this is Mike, Mad Dog McDudy. Everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, when it comes to his attitude about women, Donald Trump is a pig. Sorry, but he is. He's done some good things as president. I give him that. But before he was elected, he was heard on tape to say, I don't even wait. When you're a star, they let you do it. They let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the you can do anything. So here I am. Better off economically because of the Trump administration, but will I vote for the man sacrificing my own integrity because of good economy? No, I won't. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
These days, it can be hard to trust the media. What's true, what's fake, and who is behind the message? I'm a freelance journalist and videographer who has spent years studying the media, interviewing people, writing stories, and producing documentary videos. But I was born and raised in Eastern Washington and grew up working on farms and in the fields. Now I'm taking a look at what local, regional, and national news stories mean to us here in North Central Washington. Join me, Dominic Bonney, for Common Sense on NCW Life TV.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. In late February of this year, a gentleman by the name of Norman Strasbaugh passed away. He was a Marine Corps veteran. He was 77 years old. And as it turns out, when Norman passed away, it was discovered at a local nursing home. It was discovered he had no local family, nor even, quite frankly, anybody to help out with his funeral. The man was a Marine Corps veteran, and some people around here decided that he's a Marine Corps veteran, family or no family, he deserves a proper burial. Our own Jefferson Robbins filed this report from back in March.
Veterans are important. Service members are important. And not just to me, but our community, our country, our state. And none of them deserve to ride it out alone. But there's a lot of veterans that are laid to rest without anybody knowing. And so that's painful. I did 10 years in the Navy. One of the local veterans had posted it on his Facebook page. And so his name is Jose Salas. And so I took it and I just ran with it. Just did a live video and asked folks to share it. It went crazy.
A veteran friend of mine has brought it to my attention that we have a former Marine. Well, I guess there's never real such thing as a former Marine, but a Marine is being laid to rest, and he doesn't have any family to speak of, I guess, is my understanding.
I know he passed away at 77 years old. I know he was PFC in the United States Marine Corps. He served, I believe it was 63 to 65, and did 2 or 3 tours in Vietnam. He won't be laid to rest alone. I think that's the most important thing. No veteran or troop or anybody should be laid to rest alone.
Gentleman who made that happen, you just saw on camera without a mask. That was back in February. Now you get to see him with a mask. He is the president of the local chapter, or the only chapter of Tour of Duty. Cortlin Martin is joining me in studio. It's good to see you.
Nice to see you too. Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you. You are a 10-year veteran of the Navy.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure exactly how comfortable you are talking about your naval experiences as a decade in the Navy, but if you're comfortable talking about it, I'd like to hear a little background about you, Cortlin, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I joined the Navy back in August of 2007. Rode out 10 years. Most of the time done as a crash fire rescue guy. So ABH, they typically park aircraft, but I was one of the fight deck firefighters. Went on to do that at a number of different duty stations, and then was medically separated back in 2017.
And now you're here in the big city. The adjustment from military life to civilian life is, even under the best of circumstances, can be difficult.
Yeah.
How did it go for you?
It was painful. I had it's funny, when I went in to sign up originally for the Navy, I told the recruiter, just sign me up for 20. And he laughed and said, we don't do that. So I signed up, and I decided partway through there that I was going to do the full 20. Originally, it was kind of rough, right? Getting started. Going through, it's like, oh, is this really for me? And all that good stuff. But then I decided it was for me, and I was going to ride it out. And I ended up getting out. So when I got out, the adjustment was massive. Felt like I was really alone. I didn't have the brotherhood, the sisterhood, and the daily in and out was, you knew what you were doing, you knew where you're going, knew you had to be there by what time and all that good stuff, which is great. I mean,
the day was disciplined and laid out for you.
Right. very much so. And then getting out, it's like, where do I go? When do I go? Yeah, there was lots of questions. Part of that was, the separation, missing the guys, the gals, the teamwork, and everything else you do. It can definitely weigh on you. So,
how you doing now?
Much better. My wife is been a godsend for sure. She's helped me through a lot of it, as well as other veterans that I know. So it's tough, but we're good.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because one of the members of your tour of duty board is in fact a military wife, and they need as much. It's something we kind of don't remember or even think about military wives that much. It's the gentlemen on the front lines that we think about most, but the wives are an incredibly important cog in your mental well-being, aren't they?
I would 100% agree. Day in and day out, it's already difficult as a service member, and then as a veteran, it's the same, right? But when you've got somebody that loves you and supports you the way that my wife does, it's an immense difference. So you run off and you go to war, you go on your deployments or whatnot. You got to know that back home everything's going to be okay, and you're going to come home and it's going to be how you left it. And so having a good woman behind you is critical.
And then along came Tour of Duty. Talk about how this organization that you are the president of, Tour of Duty, the genesis of it. How did it come to be?
Well, as you showed before that video, back in March, it was like a kick in the stomach. I put myself in his shoes, being laid to rest alone, and just the thought of being alone is painful, right? So I really thought about that. We went through the service, and it was a challenge for me to face it. And then it kind of dawned on me then, like this shouldn't happen. And in talking with a couple veterans that were actually there, they had 15 unaccompanied that they had cremated and were laying to rest in
Which
April.
is 15 too many.
100%.
Yeah.
It was just, I was dumbfounded. So I started doing a little bit of research, and there's really not a whole lot of support out there for unaccompanieds. And in fact, the VA doesn't even really keep track of that stuff, from what I found. So that's kind of where that's kind of started from. And then looking into like my situation when I got out, into friends that when they separated, their experience, it's tough when there's nobody there, right? And so when you get out of the service, you have to go through a transitional or separation class that's mostly taught by active duty.
Okay. So they maybe don't really know.
Exactly. You know, they don't know what it's like to have gotten out and, live that life. However, they bring in civilians and stuff like that to kind of shine some light on a few things. Not all of them are necessarily veterans, and they don't know that they really get down into the depths of, hey, this is what I felt when I got out. And so helping those transition when they get out is important. When you don't have anybody, you're kind of doing it on your own like I did. I didn't know. Mm-hmm. And so just digging in, doing the research, I had the mental capacity and the ability to do that on my own. Some people might not. Their separation might be because of a mental illness or something else that came up during their time of service that really impedes their ability to make that adjustment. And so we're going to support them as well as unaccompanied, active duty, family members, those types of things. We're going to be involved as much as we can.
Well, obviously you touched a nerve back in February when you took the bull by the horns, and so we have a little momentum going here. And what we really want is to keep the momentum going for the Tour of Duty organization. So give me just a brief synopsis of what exactly you guys are doing.
So currently we're getting our feet wet. We're just started out. I knew I wanted to do this back then. It when that first had happened, and it required a lot of research on my end, learning some ins and outs. I've connected with a nonprofit consultant, and she's helping us through some of the legal stuff and getting through all that. And so we're really just scratching the surface right now, getting our name out there, raising funds. Currently got a GoFundMe going. our website. You can donate via PayPal. So we're getting that going so that when these events do arise, we're ready. We've already got some folks that are willing to donate their time and some services to help current active duty and veterans get out there and just get intertwined with some outdoor activities, and kind of just overall that community, the bonding and everything else, kind of giving that back.
Are we doing okay? I mean, obviously you'd like this thing to be a going concern, but the initial response to the Tour of Duty organization that you're the president of, are you happy so far or what?
I struggle with it because although we have a lot of support, our fundraising is a little slow. However, I do have some folks that are helping along the way, as well as some flexibility with like our nonprofit coordinator or consultant. She's helped out a lot. And so we're just kind of trucking along and do what we can. And currently we're doing a lot of stuff out of pocket as we can, throughout.
Well, that piggy bank doesn't last forever. You need a little dough here and there.
Yes, sir.
I was on the website. The website is extremely well done.
Thank you.
Very user friendly. It has all the members of the board of directors, and you can shop. You can do things. What can we do now to my viewers here in the Wenatchee Valley and elsewhere to help you guys out in the next month and a half? Again, as you mentioned before, you're putting in a lot of your own muscle and a lot of your own time and your own money to make this thing going. You need help from us. What can we do right now to help you out?
Well, we've got the GoFundMe going currently. That's all over our Facebook pages. So you can go on to Tour of Duty on Facebook. You can like it. You can share it. You can donate. You can share the donation link. You can share all that good stuff. And you just overall share love, spread it around, let the friends, family know. And then overall, just, be there to support when we do have a situation arise, such as an unaccompanied. I think monetarily, that's not what's important. What's important is our cause, and that's supporting veterans, active duty, those families, and of course the unaccompanied that come along.
Any help from any governmental agencies on this at all? Is the VA helping you out, or anybody in that regard, as far as those folks who know the ins and the outs, supposedly?
Not at this point.
Okay.
We are currently a Washington State nonprofit, currently working towards that 501c3. We've started the process. And once we get there, we can work on getting some of the grants and stuff from the federal government. As for the VA and such, not at this point. That's kind of something that we're working towards. But again, the notification doesn't always come from the VA that there's an unaccompanied, right? It might come from, in this case, in March, it was from the assisted living home, right? It came from somebody there
who knew the story behind
Yeah.
Mr. Strasberg. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Straubaugh. Yeah. So we're gonna help you out. Hopefully, we're planting a seed here, viewers. How do people get involved? Just to say, I want to give you time. I got a skill set I can help you guys out with. How do they go about doing that?
Well, on our website, you can actually go in and reach out directly and say, this is what I can do and how I've done things in the past. And that'll go directly to us, the team. You can also reach out via Facebook and just kind of tell us what you're willing to do and what you have the capability of doing, so that in the future, whether it's an event or it's a service that's needed, whatnot, we can reach out and support. So,
as we usually say, the biggest skill set you need for this kind of organization, Tour of Duty, is giving a damn. You do that, you're 90% in right there. Cortland, did you have any idea this was going to kind of happen from back in February, that the seed is planted? I want to keep this going. I want to keep the momentum going. Or did you know? Did you have an idea that maybe we can do something here?
I had no idea. It was, it literally kind of came to me while I was standing there. When I stood there for the interview, I looked at my mom while she was sitting in her car. I said, I don't want to do this interview. She goes, you need to. I was like, I don't want to. And she goes, it's important. You get the word out. And it was kind of at that moment where I'm like, yeah, my mom's right again.
They always are, aren't they?
Right? So it was kind of in that moment that I really realized, like, I did this for a reason. I'm here now. It's time to make something of it. And so at that point, I said, screw it, I'll do the interview. Did the interview. And just seeing that turnout, just everything that came together. I mean, when I originally showed up, I just about kept going.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the big crowds, the emotional side of it. It's brutal for me to sit there and go through that. But I knew that I started this. You know what I mean? I started it. You suck it up, Buttercup. You're finishing it.
It's amazing what you can do if you have to do it. And obviously the passion that you have for your organization shines through the mask, for lack of a better term. What can we do to contact information, websites, all that good stuff, Cortlin? Throw it at me.
We've got todfoundation.org is our website. You can contact us on there. You can also email us at tourofdutyed@gmail currently. And then you can reach me directly on my cell phone, 360-870-9604. Or you can reach out via Facebook. It's really whatever's most convenient.
Let's give these folks a hand. They do good work, and we want to keep this Tour of Duty organization up and running for as long as possible. And every once in a while, even somebody who works as hard as you do, Cortlin, needs a little bit of a break from having to do this, and we'd be more than happy. Let us know how it works out. If you need more help, you have an open invitation to come see me anytime you want, Cortlin, all right?
Thank you.
Appreciate the good work that you're doing, and thanks for your service, I might add.
Thank you.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
In the heart of the Wenatchee Valley lies a unique Ford and Lincoln dealership. This is Pat Armstrong Ford Lincoln, home of the lifetime warranty. Pat Armstrong Ford's mission is to exceed your expectations by taking pride in making your car buying experience as comfortable and timely as possible. This mission is consistent in every department, including parts, service, and sales. We are community strong and community safe in East Wenatchee.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Leaves are falling, winds are blowing, and fall has arrived at Collins Fashions. Cozy soft faux furs, luscious colors in down coats, sweater jackets, amazing sweaters in chenille and cashmere in many beautiful colors and styles. Your favorite brands such as Tribal, Tommy Bahama, Charlie B, Liverpool, Lassie, Spanx, Joseph Ribkoff, Nick and Zoe, French Dressing, Karen Kane, and many more. And Brighton designs and handbags and jewelry for you and gifts too. All at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Badger Mountain Brewing is proud to announce the grand opening of our new kitchen. Come try out our new menu featuring fabulous steaks, prime rib, gourmet burgers, and seafood grilled up by experienced meat master Chef Galen Goodman. To complement your mouth-watering meal, Badger Mountain Brewing features 14 in-house crafted beers, an alcohol-free root beer infused with 11 different herbs and spices, 3 different ciders, and a great wine selection. Don't miss out on the best meats and the best brews down at Badger Mountain Brewing, located at 1 Orondo Avenue across the tracks from the Pybus Market.
Wow, it was an instant replay. It's got to be Monday. I am Dan Kuntz. We got a brand new graphic sent to us from the National Weather Service. If you spend any amount of time here in the North Central Washington area, and you're pretty familiar with the air inversions, you know what happens is when you got warm air up above, cool air that sinks down into the valley floor, and that means fog. And it's going to pick up, the intensity of the fog is going to expand around midweek, so reduced visibility in the early morning hours. And of course, if you have a really strong inversion, and we're not expecting a really strong inversion, but a really strong inversion traps all the pollutants down near the surface and we get the bad air. Probably not going to happen that bad, but we need to mention that we are in for maybe some patchy morning fog or maybe some pretty thick morning fog for the Wenatchee Valley by the mid to the end part of the week. In fact, from the National Weather Service, let's go ahead and take a look at that forecast one more time. It's 28 degrees outside of our studios. As I mentioned before, we've already set a record or tied a record low on this date. We broke the record low on Sunday. It's going to be chilly again tonight, but we'll have quite a bit of sunshine once these clouds burn off, and we'll get up to about 46 degrees. If we get down to 24, that would be another record. That would be 3 days in a row of record low temperatures. Sunshine Tuesday, warming up Wednesday, warming up Thursday. Again, some low clouds and fog possibility by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning. That's it for us. Have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.